What is up, guys? My name is Sam World, and today we're going to be going a little bit over vocal drones or techno drones or techno atmospheres, which is what's going to make your track have a little bit more flair. I feel like this is one of the most undermined sections when it comes to techno, and as a good techno producer, you should know how to create your own drones or atmospheres. And the reason for this is that you can utilize a track, elements you have in your track, to create atmospheres. I feel like if you use sounds you have already in your song, a vocal, it might be a lead, a little drum sample, to create a drone out of it, I feel like it fits your track a lot more as you're using source material from your track to create some new sounds, aka a drone or an atmosphere. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that. Now, the first thing you're going to need, guys, is the source material that you're going to utilize to create your drone. We need to start with something. We need to start with some sound. You know, if you divide anything by 0, it's always 0. So we got nothing. We ain't going to get nothing until we get that. So we need a source material. For this part, I want to use a vocal for this. So I'm going to use one of the spliced vocal sample packs called the Resonator one. And I'm just going to use this one called Over and Over Again as my starting point. From here, I'm going to pick a spot from it. Maybe just have the beginning of it like so.
Over and over and over.
And then maybe I'll just have that repeating, and we'll have that.
Over, 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 over.
Now, the next thing is we're going to put a bunch of reverb on this, and that is going to be pretty much to create more of a pad kind of sound from it. So I'm going to have the dry and wet at 100% on.
Over, 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 over.
Now, essentially here we want a bit more decay time and a higher size to get more something that sounds like it's more in the back. Now, as you're hearing that, if there's parts of the reverb that you like, make sure to freeze it, as that's what we're going to be doing here. Now, we can find the freeze here, and what it's going to do is it's just going to hold the reverb in that section that you like, and you're going to get something cool like this. Now, let's assume this is what you like. Keep in mind, it's going to stay like this. You can't control the volume unless you're moving it up or down, okay? So you can see it's still going. Now, what I like to do here is, let's say this is what I like. We can add other effects if we want, like a bit of chorus. We can add anything we want. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record that. And the way I'm going to do that is simple. I'm going to go into Audio 3 here, go into External In. We're going to go to the vocal, Post Mixer, and then we're going to record this. So here we go. And now I can delete it, and now we're going to have this. Now, if we put this on top of a track or like some drums, it's going to sound like this. A bit of sidechain is definitely needed. Now, that gives a lot of atmosphere to the track, definitely. But other things we can do to just fine tune that is sometimes you might not want yours to have a lot of highs, so that's where we can come in with an EQ, no lows. We can do a lot of cool stuff with it. Now, another cool thing to use is the Resonator, which is very popular with the trap guys, as you can create a lot of metallic sounds out of this. Now, the way you're going to use this is pretty simple. You're going to look at the key of your track. Let's say you're in the key of D sharp. We're going to move this note here to around D sharp there, and we're going to put it there. Now, on the right side here, you're going to find pretty much 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, the way this plugin works is it creates resonations, and in essence, that's going to give you sort of like a comb metallic vibe. Now, I recommend here on the pitches that you put stuff that is harmonic. So +7, +3 if you're in minor, +4 if you're in major, +11 if you want the one on top of the triad note. If you want to do I forgot the name, fourths or fifths instead of a triad, you have a fourth or something. I forgot the term for that, but you want to do that to create this sort of cool kind of mysterious droney vibe. That's how you're gonna do it. So here you can do that. You can switch the notes up for sure if you want, like plus 1 at 24, so we get a little bit of high frequency on that. Here we have a filter, turn it off. Now, you might be going like, Sam, why don't we just create a pad, or why don't we make a pad in Serum? The reason for that is that it's very hard to get something that sounds like this in terms of texture. You can definitely use a synth sound if you want to create the texture, or use a synth sound as a source material to come up with this, but I feel like the Resonator just has a certain vibe to it. The only downside of using a Resonator is the fact that you're not going to be able to change the key on it unless you automate this. So once we have that, we can add just another reverb just to kind of smooth it. And then we'll have this on top of this LFO here at the. Okay, so you get some cool vibes out of that. That's a cool way to do it. You don't need to have the resonator, but I wanted to show it in the video just so you guys understand how to use it, okay? Now, here with this guy, we can also pitch it down, pitch it up, and that's going to give us interesting features. Here we have something a little bit darker, something very droney that you can have throughout your track. You know, if you want to widen it, use an S1 imager or the Haas effect to get it a bit more wider. You're going to have a bit of stereo information in that because it is you can add cool stuff. Let's say you want your drone to pitch up and down. We can go here, transposition modulation, pull it up, pull it down. You know, that's a little bit of horror sounds there, but you get the idea with that. So in essence, creating a drone, guys, you can do it this way. It's a cool way to do it. The other thing we can do is we don't have to necessarily use vocal sample. Again, you can use any source material you want to utilize this kind of trick to create drones for yourself. We can utilize drum loops. In essence, let's say we use another drum loop here from this pack. Let's assume we have just some top hats on this and we just want to create something out of we can also add the resonator right from the get-go. So we're going to do that. Put a bit of reverb. So now we have something like that. Record it, get rid of it. So once we got rid of it, we can control the volume. Now the cool thing here is that you don't have to use it like this. You can definitely use it as a sweep where it's sort of like with the fade section of Ableton and just put a bunch of reverb to give it a bit more. You can add maybe a. There we go. That's a super cool one. A little bit of. Let's put this over here. You know, any effect that you can think of, right? Redux. Let's add another resonator just for fun, you know, because we're using it a lot in this video. We're going to put the note at. Let's put this maybe at 12 and then plus 12 here. Negative 12, actually. I want this to be more down-pitched than it is already. And then we're going to go negative 7. Okay, you can put a ping pong effect. Anything that you already know will give this kind of like a good atmosphere. More octave lower. But yeah, guys, that's how we could create atmosphere. We can create sweeps, we can create swells, and it's a simple thing that we can do inside of Ableton utilizing reverb, the resonator, and some of the cool effects that we have there. Hopefully that makes sense to some of you guys. Hopefully you guys use it in your upcoming tracks. Hopefully you understand why it makes a bit more sense to do this, utilizing stuff you already have in your track to create atmosphere with it. It just fits a bit better than just going into a sample pack, picking a drone sample. Make it yourself, get that glory. And other than that, that's going to be another tutorial, guys. If you guys want to support the channel, I did create a Techno Serum sound set called Paradox with 150 modern presets for techno. Utilize it to create source sounds. Use those sounds to create stuff like this, or utilize them the way they are, or use the presets to learn how to create some of the sounds that they've been using in modern techno. But with that being said, you guys take care. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Quick and easy, fast and easy, and you guys take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the feedback stream.